All right, welcome back. That was a great performance there by Icon. All right, we've got tech this morning, and our topic this morning is digital citizenship. Early education on the right use of social media. Fredrick, of course, is back here in the house. It's great to have you, Fredrick. You're welcome. And it was not too easy to come because of the fuel situation, but you are here now.
Yeah.
All right, great to have you. So,
right.
when you say digital citizenship, what do you mean by digital citizenship?
All right. So let's bring it down to, normal citizenship.
Okay.
Because when we add digital, it will look like we are talking about a different thing. There is rules, right? There are expectations, there are obligations that is expected of every citizen of every nation.
Okay.
Right? You're expected to be patriotic. You're expected to do a lot of things. But now when we're bringing it to digital citizenship, it's now about what type of person are you in the digital space? All right. How do you, interact with people? Do you respect people's privacy? Do you, are you ensuring that you're not being catfished in the digital space? Right. So that whole culture that you're supposed to actually live out in physical, right? Now, how you live out that same culture in the digital space, okay, that is what could stem you either a good digital citizen or a bad one.
Are there rules? Is the digital space an ethical or a moral-based space that you talk about good rule or good citizenship? And is there anything like that?
Yes,
good
of
citizen
course.
of a digital space or a bad citizen? I don't know.
Of course, whenever there is a gathering of people,
yeah,
and there is no rule, chaos is bound to happen.
Okay,
right?
Okay,
so in the digital space, like in social media, for instance, first off, rule number one, respect people. In social media, it seems as if everybody is age mates. Yeah. Because you can't call anybody Mr. There's no Mr. in your name on Facebook.
Exactly.
So a 12-year-old can see you and just call you by your name. Yeah. Right? But then actually, there is a rule, what we call social media etiquette. There's digital etiquette, respect people, mind how you talk to people, and also mind the type of people you are talking with. Okay, in digital citizenship, there are 9 parts to it. There is the digital commerce, about what you buy and what you sell. Okay. All right. Then there is the digital etiquette I've already mentioned. Yeah. There's digital health. There's digital downtime. That is you knowing when to withdraw, when to keep your device, when to go off the digital space and interact with people around you. Okay. There's digital safety. There's also what's called digital security, about your password, the type of password that you use, so that you don't get easily hacked or something. Okay. Right? Then there's digital responsibility. I like this. Okay. I like this. Based on, somebody have dropped it, but even from the type of post you're even making, right? From the type of post you're making to how people interact, on social media, we call it cruise, cloud chasing, but actually, in digital etiquette, all those things are not supposed to be. A case is just what happened recently between speed dialing thing and Bernable. And yes, exactly. In those kind of scenarios. So we're saying that even before you even try to say, oh, this person did wrong by trying to arrest somebody, you yourself should maintain digital etiquette, motivation, digital responsibility. I can see 2 of the 9 arms that you say that are being flouted in this particular scenario. Exactly. So generally, with our use of social media and all of that, and with all of these things that you outlined, how does one, for younger people who are coming to this space, how do they get, a lot of them come in without, in quote, knowing these things. Education. And, Elon Musk, as a person, goes on, who is, of course, the owner of X, goes on about the freedom of speech and how people can say what they need to say. Where can we draw the line or put that balance when it comes to freedom of speech and at the same time, in some ways, trying to ensure that people don't, go out of line? How can we make a balance there? Yeah. So, if you don't educate your child enough, right, social media is a place where it looks like there is no rules. I used to say that, everything to everybody now is content, right? But then you don't also think about what's going to happen after you hit that post, all right? So in the topic, we said early education. I always say that everything about how we live our life, how children are going to turn out to be in the society, is about moral upbringing, okay? Some parents don't even really care about what you know, some persons will look at some posts and be like, does this person even have brothers and sisters, bigger brothers, father or mom, right? They don't care about what their children are doing on the social media space. So it's about, I always say that at this point, families should have what I call social media discussion. What's trending? Daddy, mommy, children. Let's talk. So there's something that is trending. You need to actually start telling your child that this one is good, this one is bad. All right? Because if you just think that it is just about, okay, make sure that you greet somebody when you see them walking on the street, make sure you, it's not just, a lot of people now spend more time online than in the physical world. By the time we get into the metaverse, almost everybody. Have you seen that movie called
Real Player One?
Real Player One, you know, such that everybody wants to live inside the social, online space.
When that happens and it's accessible to everybody, good network. I mean, when people are out here and you are feeling that life is not treating you good, it's easier to go into there in some form of an avatar or something and live your life there.
Want to do. Exactly.
Wonderful.
So it's all about early education. What are you telling the child about? Facebook does this, TikTok does it. There are social media places that I really don't encourage children to be in. Places like Likey, Snapchat, you know, TikTok.
Oh, Snapchat is not for kids.
All these
they shouldn't open that something.
But guess what? Many children are now having fun on all of these places because parents don't even really care, right? So sometimes, I used to see that when your child is sleeping, somehow, gain access to their device, find out what they are doing on the social media space.
Very true.
Because if you don't start, especially when you start early, from 7, you don't wait for them to become teenagers before you start turning them into prayer points. You need to start at the early stage when they can still hear your voice. And when even they don't get to go on social media, tell them, see, there is also a space, a digital platform where you're going to be spending your life on. So all these moral values I'm trying to impart on you, it doesn't stop in physical interactions, even digital interactions, right? From the people you talk to the people you're listening to, because social media can have much more impact on the child than what the parent is telling him.
Fredrick, this was an explosive session. It was short, but you see what? Go on social media and get what he said. You see those 9 he listed out, and these are things that you can teach your kids. Thank you so much, Fredrick. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. Hope you're able to pick one or two things there. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. When we get back, Imo Ebo is in the house.